You just mentioned reform. Some people will be shocked because there's a lot of people now relying on reform.
Yeah.
A lot of people are thinking reform are the solution, and I've made comments and people, well, who are we meant to vote for then? Yeah.
There is no. It's not there will be no. There's no electoral solution to this problem. That is 100% sure. There is a cultural solution to this problem, which is a mass movement of people.
Elaborate on that, please,
which
so
will
people
happen.
understand what you're.
Well, look at reform, right?
Yep.
What is reform's policy on immigration?
One in, one out. So if half a million British decide to leave because their town's being overtaken, they'll bring 500,000 in from Africa.
That good? That sound like a good immigration
Not
policy?
at all, no.
Right.
But do people realise that?
Well, I don't know. My point is...
We know that. We've looked
my point here is that there is a political media establishment, right? So I just observe trends. I look at it and I go, okay, they've been let in the...
Reform, because they've been promoted.
I mean,
by the
it's just
mainstream
written
media.
relentless puff pieces about these people. They don't want to work with anyone else, so he doesn't want to work. Farage doesn't even work with, Farage hasn't even joined his own party, has he, really?
No, he's just pushed it.
Yeah, and then I just think they're just controlled opposition. That's what I think they are. I think they go, oh, look, the people are a bit stressed out, we should give them
Is Tice establishment?
Tice is look, I don't dislike Richard as a person. Okay. I think he's a nice guy, but was
it Matt Hancock's book launch, was he?
Yeah.
If I remember rightly?
Yeah. They're all establishment, these people.
Okay.
They're not, you can tell everything you need to know about somebody and their belief system and how honest they are by how interested they are, A, in power, and B, what it costs them to get to where they are in their life. And if people have suffered, they tend to be much more genuine, and I tend to like people more who've suffered. When people pop up and go, I'm going to start up a political party, I'm like, what are your policies? And it's
the media, who attack everyone else, just literally have gone like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's watching it, and they're not even getting a hard time.
Yeah, they're not getting a hard time. No one cross-examines them. They're part of the establishment now. I don't think you can vote for these people. I think what will happen is what will happen in America, which is it will take a Trump-type figure to go, and people trust, whatever your criticisms of Trump are, he's not a politician at all.
Which is why people like him.
And he's a man of the people, because he's not some sort of Harvard-educated, uses big words like whatever, he just gets his point across. I think that given the choice, we've got to go through a Labour government, which we're going to go through anyway, because also, why would you start a political party to fight the Tories, make sure that you give Labour another 100 extra seats so that anything they want to do, the Race Equality Act, so that they can do, and then turn around and give the Tories the excuse of someone to blame? They're going, it was Reform's fault. It doesn't make sense to me. And things that don't make sense to me smell to me. If it's not logical, it doesn't make sense, it smells. And Labour are going to make diversity, equity and inclusion in law.
Which means, what does that, diversity?
Diversity, equity and inclusion is...
DEI, we hear a lot about it now, but what does that mean?
Well, it's a sort of modern iteration of affirmative action. So it is the enforced racial quotas, the diversity is an enforced racial quota in anything. So say in my old business, show business, BAFTA said, right, we're going to have 50% BAME or whatever, but I don't know what the new acronym is. Are
they going to enforce that in taxi ranks, like in Luton?
Yeah.
Where every taxi rank is a Pakistani Muslim, are they going to say, no, you need some white drivers?
Yeah, they're going to enforce it in the England football team.
That's what I mean. Are they going to say, well, we need more white players?
No, it's like that footballer yesterday, that woman footballer, who turned around and said, you nasty white bastard or something to somebody. And Chelsea is standing by her. It's a very difficult time for her. It's like, I'm sick of living in this. So
it's reversing the roles.
The diversity is just cut for no white people. That's what diversity means. Equity is killing and the death of a meritocracy. So that's the end of anyone being good at something getting promoted. It means that you're going to get people with no talent and ability being promoted to quite high positions.
We lower the level of qualification to get into the military.
Just drag everybody down rather than lift everybody up, which is the idea of meritocratic capitalism. And then inclusion means no white people. It's like you've got to include, and then you've got to start.
And Labour are going to make this part of their main policy.
Race Equality Act, yeah, it's coming.
They're making make it.
It's going to be the first thing they do. Annalise Dodds. Annalise Dodds says it's going to be the front and centre of what Labour do. So Keir Starmer's doing a Joe Biden. You know, Joe Biden sat in 2020, and he just pretended he was going to be like, you know, a nice kind of sort of centre-left guy. But it's like Blair as well. You know, everyone thought, oh, Tony Blair's quite charismatic, but you didn't realise he'd utterly destroy our country in that, you know, with long-term planning. And Keir Starmer's going to do the same.